All right. How we doing tonight?
Good. How are you, Clayton?
Oh, I'm busy just finishing up something right before the show, actually.
Yep. Yep. Good.
Jamming out to the intro. You know how it goes.
So I saw that antelope on there. Did you get drawn or didn't you?
I did not. Nope. I did
Yeah.
not get drawn. And I went for basically way over. The only units that were open are way over west, over by Bowman in that country, and
Mhm.
put in for Scott's units. I figured then he'd have to let me hunt.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think I know anybody who got drawn. So
Yeah, I imagine. Well, with just those few units open, who I don't even. I didn't look to see how many there
I think
were.
there's like 13,000 applicants.
Wow.
Yeah. I think somebody sent me that actually. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work, is it?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Um,
No. So yeah. All right. Let's get it going, huh?
yeah, why don't you hit that Second Amendment?
Oh, heck, I don't even know what it is. I'll just go with it. Well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I got a frog in
That's,
my throat here.
I will say, what the heck's going on?
There, I don't know. This Coors Light's not doing its job for me.
Is that the deal?
Oh, man.
Because I'm not ignoring you here. I had to change there. Now everything's kosher. Everything's right up there on the top.
All righty. All righty. So let's get I didn't do the poll last week.
Okay.
And because we had a poor showing there the week before, so I did the reason I did this poll because a buddy of mine, I did some work to his AR-15. He came over and I saw that the bipod is folded backwards, and I'm like, no, that's not how you do a bipod. So I figured we are going to do a poll on that, and we did. The correct way to fold down rifle bipod legs. I had three options: forward, back, or anti-bipod. We'll go backwards this time with the lowest. Anti-bipod, we had one vote. One person was anti-bipod.
Really? Anti-bipod.
Yeah. If my dad had a computer, it'd have been 2 votes because he's not really a fan. And back, we had 2 votes.
There, look at there. With the magic, boom, I put it up.
There you go. You had 46 total, so we had 3 votes. So the rest of the votes forward, which is the way you do fold bipod legs. I'm talking like a Harris or something too, not one of these fancy ones like Dave uses in that F-class stuff. I don't know which way they fold. But forward, 43 votes at 93%, actually just domination. So you're putting your bipod backwards, you're doing it wrong.
Now I use a VersaPod I've got some Harris bipods, but I do use a VersaPod mainly because I could buy the 3 levels that they got. And then just buy the adapter and put it on every gun. I didn't have to buy a bipod for every single gun. I can tell you on the great big long one, I usually fold them forward, but you can fold them either way on those particular ones. I kind of like them. I don't even know if they make them anymore, but I didn't like them on the great big tall one. The reason I'd fold that down is because I didn't want it to be sticking way above. I mean, you'd have another 6-7 inches above the barrel. I was like, oh, I don't want that. Everything will see me walking in there. So.
Yeah, even in their long like that, I put them forward.
But I can tell you now, I've really gotten where I enjoy my shooting sticks. I don't really use my bipods as much, especially when I'm out coyote hunting. I've really got to like the shooting.
Yeah, or something like that. I mean, you got to, bipods for coyote hunting, unless you get them big daddy long legs ones.
Yeah, and guys, I don't know what to tell you, but again, it's got to be something with Restream because the chat overlay is not working. If Jamie wants to try it on his end, go for it. But Eric,
here we go. Yeah, I got him right here. Hey, hold on here. Let me get to everybody's here. I apologize. Good evening, Eric. Trampus Brenner. Good evening to you. Kevin Gillis. Thanks, Kevin. Kevin's on. Yeah, I mean, all you guys are here pretty much every week. One Shot Cap. Good evening to you. You're a patriot yourself. Evening to A friends. Doug Thompson. Good evening, Dan Brown. Evening to you from the Western Edge. Absolutely.
All right.
Brian Warner, good evening, fellow MBE. Same to you. Eric Newman, he got turned down for a go today. Oh, he said his dad got drawn this year in South Dakota.
Good, yeah.
And Cheap Beer, he said that Cheap Beer will do that to me.
That's the Coors Light comment from earlier.
Yeah. Oh, Eric's got it right here, like on a Harris. If you put them on backwards, they collapse if you lean into it when you shoot.
They do. So. Yep, absolutely they do. I was going to mention, hey, Tramp, it's good to have you on. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know when you're heading up there, but we got the Grant County Fair coming up here this weekend. Of course, the Farm Bureau sets up a booth. And then, of course, we're going to be having a little G&T701 gear up there.
Clay's got his nice new Farm Bureau shirt on.
Oh yeah, look at that. Freshly off down here in the sweatshop. So yeah, looks pretty good.
I like that.
Actually nicer than the ones that they're ever offering on the website. So
Yeah, well, you said it's kind of that softer cotton. I like that.
it
I
is.
got to
It's
think I'm gonna have
nice
to have
shirt.
you and Danelle get you guys a Texas Roadhouse card and get me a little something. Bring it up there in a
There
couple
we go. Fire up the sweatshop.
of them. All right, Clay, let's hit on our first topic here, shall we? You want to lead this one off?
Go. Yeah, I'm gonna let you lead that, and I'm gonna grab my paperwork.
Okay, sounds good. So we got, of course, the elections coming up next year. We got one this fall here too in November. You know, other elections and state elections, and Ohio Democrats are mounting a full-scale push to make gun control a top issue for voters next year, blaming the state's quote liberalized gun laws and an increase for the increase in crime in cities like Cleveland and Columbus, while downplaying the damage done by their own soft on crime policies and practices, which they do. They always get these city prosecutors and any prosecutor they can get in there. Just let these guys off, and unless they see you at a Trump cap, and then you get thrown in jail and they never tell you when you're getting out. But so here's what they're using, Clay, for their justification of saying this. There was a USA Today poll. And according to the results of this USA Today poll, they took a USA Today Suffolk poll, is what it's called, I guess. I don't know what Suffolk is, but
I have no clue. I just I'm reading that too.
Yeah. According to this poll, the Democrats are saying the results of this broad swaths of the electorate in Ohio is in favor of quote universal background checks requiring training in order to receive a concealed carry license. Those are big majorities, I guess. Smaller majorities were in favor of red flag laws because those have proven to work, right? All this stuff. And of course, Clayton, our favorite, ban on assault weapons and large capacity magazines.
That's always their go-to. Always.
And according to House Minority Leader Allison Russo, Democrat, Upper Arlington, the numbers don't lie, Clay. The numbers don't lie. Democrats said the Suffolk University USA Today Network Ohio Bureau poll taken July 9th through the 12th is proof that Ohioans want common sense, Clay. It's just common sense, man.
Common sense.
Common sense gun reforms. The poll also found 92% of Ohioans support mandatory background checks for firearm purchase. 88% wanted, okay, here's what we're saying, training for concealed carry. And of course, Clay, 75%, you got to lock them things up when you store them. even in Wayland, I seen Wayland today, picked up some more can koozies here.
All right.
Right here, just like this one. North Country Designs made that. Nice job again. Thank you very much. They're awesome. Yep. And,
by the way, you sending some of them down for the weekend?
Yeah, I did. Right, I got them. Good. I got them in your care package.
Awesome, in my care package. We're gonna have guys. If you're at the Grant County Fair, I'm telling you, come on down. Stop by the Farm Bureau booth, and I'll actually have some guns and 701 gear there. If I don't have your size, I can definitely make that T-shirt and have it for you right directly.
I'm sending down that banner too. You can get that baby up there.
Yeah, that's heading over to Gene Cox. He's that's to be hanging up at the new gun show coming up in September 9th, guys. September 9th and 10th.
Where's that going to be?
It's going to be at the I think they call it the How or the Hare. I can't even remember.
It's NRA banquet was that time?
Yeah, when we had one down there one time, right there on Main Street down in Mulbridge, I think, and I think what Hare Shaw or
I thought it was at the golf course or something when I was there.
We had it out the Moose. Or was it the Moose?
Seemed like it was right by the river, the one I went to. You guys had the little round steel targets there, and I got
that was at the Moose. That was the Moose Club.
Okay,
just outside of town. That was a great place too. We
the
just
Bull Moose party.
The Bull Moose party.
All right, Clay.
Anyway, it will be downtown Mulbridge, right there on Main Street. You can't miss it. It's basically their civic center down there. They used to play all kinds of games and things there. So
awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so Clay, I was giving these numbers of this poll, right? But here's a number that the Democrats down there in Ohio don't want to talk about. 62.
It's kind of a big one too.
Yeah, 62.8%. And if you wonder what that number is, that's how much of the vote Governor Mike DeWine, a Republican, received just last year in his re-election bid. Mike DeWine signed a number of pro-Second Amendment bills, and he was endorsed by the NRA. Oh, God, NRA. But
that horrible place.
Yeah. And Yeah, and he ran against, and you're wondering, like, 62%, what does his opponent get? Well, former Dayton mayor, Nan Wally, he beat her by 25 points. And then if you don't know much about elections, that is a serious ass kicking, especially for a governor.
That's a beat down.
Oh, that's a big beat down, man. And this Nan Wally made gun control a centerpiece of her campaign, slammed DeWine at every opportunity for him signing permitless carry into law and making it. This is a good one too, Clay. I think we talked about this once, but he signed into law to make it so school districts can once again have trained and vetted school staff go armed to protect the students and staff if they desire. Boy, that sounds like a real jerk, right? Like why would you want to do that?
Yeah. Oh, I get so sick and tired of these. How come it's, everyone keeps telling me that Democrats don't want your guns. Then why is it always a Democrat or a really what I would call a far left rhino that probably doesn't even belong in the Republican Party? But it's usually Democrats. They're always the ones that come up with these crazy gun laws. So, you can keep telling me that you're not going to do it, but your actions speak way louder. They're the ones that always propose these bills. They're the ones that always make executive orders. Yeah, you know what? Bullshit.
Yeah.
Hey, Waylon. There
you're back up for the comments there. Okay.
Well,
yeah. We got Jay Titan back too. It's going on good, my brother. No problem, man. You've been busy, understandable. It's summertime, and just don't miss a day this winter.
Yeah, Waylon Little Eagle. So Waylon's a good friend of ours, part of Rack's team, and hopefully you'll get to meet him one of these days when you come down this way. We do a little shooting over at his place. And you can ask Waylon about this. Just keep shooting. We got more tags. He'll explain that to you.
Well, we were down in Waylon's territory there, or he's a game warden shooting some prairie dogs Monday afternoon. It was pretty damn fun afternoon.
Yes, I wish I could have made it over there. But you guys hop on the Guns in the 701 YouTube channel. There's some great.
We got a lot more. Actually, Clay, we're talking 25th that afternoon, maybe going down, weather permitting, and doing it again. So.
Well, 220. We've been talking about a September date to get together and do some. So let's maybe make that happen.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a lot of fun, and I know Eric would like to try and meet up with us at some point.
Oh, that'd be fun times.
All right,
Clay. So we'll keep going on with this here. Of course, like I said, Ohio voters had an opportunity to choose between DeWine, who was pro Second Amendment, and his Wally, who's Second Amendment prohibition less than a year ago, and got her rear end kicked. And of course, a guy, who's this guy's name? Huffman. What does he do again here? I can't remember what he is. If he's in the House, Senate President Matt Huffman, which their Senate is controlled by Republicans too in Ohio. He said support for things like universal background checks, red flag laws, and safe storage requirements would drop if voters were asked specific policies. Which I agree with that, Clay. You can ask a question many different ways, but when it's a broad, and then people have asked me questions. I'm like, well, if I say yes, I'm not really agreeing to all of that, or if I say no, I'm not,
right.
They're just saying this kind of thing, but they, and most of these people they ask, I guarantee you don't know diddly shit about firearms and anything about magazines
or the Constitution or the rights, generally,
that old Constitution.
That darn thing, yeah. I tell you, and here's what they're trying to do this right now. They're trying to burn that baby as fast as they can, and they're making a lot of strides. That's
exactly you just made Biden smile by showing that, or at least as one of his.
It's probably hanging on his wall.
Yeah,
except he doesn't really know what it is. They got to tell him every day.
Yeah,
but anyway,
come on, man, let's light a cigarette on that, man. So anyway. Huffman's right, and this is an article here I'm reading from BearingArms.com, Cam Edwards. It's incumbent on Republicans and Second Amendment supporters across the political spectrum to discuss in earnest how these supposedly, quote, common sense reforms actually work in practice, Clay. And he made a great point right here, Cam. Colorado, for example, has put every one of these policies demanded by Ohio Democrats in place over the past decade, and crime has steadily increased. Even with one of their other little fantasies, the red flag laws, universal background checks, a ban on sale on, quote, large capacity. I think it's 10 rounds you can have there. It's not working. I mean, it's a miserable failure, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to prove some more how this crap doesn't work. And it's the Democrats' policies that do it here.
Well, and they do this. California's had a lot of these things for years.
Oh, they got
Working real
and
well
then
out
more.
there, isn't it?
And then background checks on ammo.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
do you remember when they wanted everybody to get basically an arsenal license if you had more than 1,000 rounds of ammo in possession? And what they meant by ammo,
I didn't hear that stupid one. An arsenal license.
That was actually proposed a few years ago here in Congress, where they wanted you to have an arsenal license. But Democrats, by the way, more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition in your possession, and that meant bullets and loaded. Oh boy, I guess I might have been in trouble. I mean, I got like 20,000 rounds of 22 shells just alone.
I was going to say, I was going to mention something earlier. I got a little sack of freedom seeds here I'm going to talk about later. So
it's just, this is the insanity. It's the little steps that they like to keep chipping away, and they hope they can get those through.
It's
and
common
then
sense.
The next one, common, and then they call it, they tag it common sense.
Brian says you're a professional campaigner, Brian Warner. You're exactly right, Brian.
Yeah.
All right, so going on here, it's true that cities like Columbus and Cleveland are seeing an increase in crime in their own right now. Okay, Columbus and Cleveland, right? Okay, we all know Cleveland, big leftist city, as well as Columbus. But if Ohio gun laws were to blame, we'd be seeing an across-the-board spike throughout the state, right? Clay makes sense. If they got all these liberalized gun laws now, and you can carry, right? It should be throughout the whole state where all this crime and murder spikes are going. But guess what? That's not happening. According to crime analyst Jeff Asher's data dashboard, homicides in Cleveland are up 26% compared to last year, and Columbus has seen a 13% rise in murders. But in Akron and Cincinnati, homicides are down by more than 20%. Clay, impossible, right? It's impossible because they liberalized gun control laws. Toledo's doing even better. Toledo, and I'll guarantee you, Cincinnati's not a conservative town.
No.
I'll be willing to bet you, Clay, that Akron, Cincy, and Toledo all voted for Joe Biden, and they have Democrat-controlled city councils. I could be wrong. If somebody knows, go ahead and tell me. But Toledo is doing even better with a 40% reduction in homicides so far this year compared to 2022.
Imagine that, huh?
Yeah. So the crime woes in Cleveland and Columbus aren't being driven by statewide policies or politics, but by a relatively small number of individuals, which is true throughout the entire country, they couldn't care less about freaking gun laws, Clay, and they don't care if they're a felon, and they didn't care if they're going to jail again. They'll just kill people, but these guys they shoot people or they beat the hell out of them. And they go into these liberal judges, these liberal city prosecutors, and they let them off the hook, or they let them right out of jail, and they go back out and do the same damn thing.
They don't even care if they're illegals or legal citizens of this country. They don't care, and then they wonder why they got the problem.
Well, illegals are just here for a better life.
Yeah, Jay Titan has a comment here. He goes, "These Bidenomic times, having to work my butt off to support my 2 kids and my wife, wanting to move my family into a new home, get a bigger SUV. But these interest rates are ridiculous." Well, yeah, everything under Biden's bad. Economics are bad. Gun control is bad. They're trying to, they're using executive orders. He's got basically a militarized ATF and Justice Department right now. Everything is bad under Biden. Congratulations, Joe. You now are the worst president, not Jimmy Carter.
He just said today that he saved everybody because he's the spending bill they spent that they signed last year. He's saving every household $1,000 on energy costs.
Yeah,
Joe, I don't have a college degree, but I'm not a stupid idiot either, and I can see what my energy bill is. And you're costing me more than $1,000. You're not saving me $1,000.
Well, my electric company, it has went up along with everything else. Their kilowatt hour has went up, and their minimums have went up. And what really pissed me off probably more than anything when I saw that bill is they had at least they itemized it out so we know who to blame. Part of it has to do with the green energy crap. And it does. They got this surcharge on there, and that's exactly what that was for. And that was the biggest part of the increase. And what that means is this particular company had to go build windmills to get under their ESG score is what it amounts to. And that was the rise, and that was the cause of the rise in our electric rates. So, yeah, Joe, kiss mine.
Well, Clay, do you want the Earth to shrivel up because of global warming? Is that what you want?
If it was proven it could happen, maybe I'd change my mind. But I'm not worried. So let's drill, baby, drill.
Yeah, global warming, whatever kind of crap they call now, climate change, whatever.
Climate change, global warming, acid rain,
right,
global cooling.
Yeah. It was global cooling when I was back at Simley in the 80s. But so a lot of these things that's happening too, Clay, you got an increased number of juvenile offenders. I mean, they're arresting these kids down there.
Wait a second. They're not. They can't purchase a firearm legally anymore.
Right?
How can that be?
The law, right? They can't
against
carry
the law.
them either.
And if you pass a law, that takes care of it, right?
Yep. Yeah. So Cuyahoga County prosecutor Michael O'Malley, and I could be wrong here too, but I think Cuyahoga County is Cleveland. That's where Cleveland is. Said the crime spike is fueled in part by rising juvenile violence, and he pointed to recent homicide stats claiming that murders committed by children this year are currently at 23. That's the same level as for all of 2021. So I mean, that is part of what's going on here. You know,
yeah,
I've been reading a lot of stories. I guess I haven't really talked about it, but these kids, and then they got the Glock switches on their Glocks, and a whole bunch of them, like 12 of them, standing around flashing their Glocks. And I mean, my 12-year-old can shoot a pistol, but she's not out in the street flashing it around. You know, I'm pointing into people's faces and committing crimes on them. So again, a lot of this is how you raise people and what kind of citizenry you got there. But you know, it's if they want to make this 2024 election about gun control down there in Ohio, I think I'm saying let it go for it, man. I think that's another losing effort for the Democrats, and another ass kicking for them would be fine with me. I don't live in Ohio, but I want to keep Ohio red. Ohio goes for Trump big time, so let's keep it rolling that way, baby.
And guys, yes, you know, we're talking the campaign, and of course Trump's name's coming up, and you know what, whoever you're for, that's fine. Like I know Jamie's a DeSantis supporter, and there's no problem with that,
baby.
But I can tell you right now that Trump's your nominee in the Republican Party. I have no doubt about it, and that's why we keep talking about the matchup. I don't know what's going to happen on the Democrat side. A lot of people think Joe won't even be the nominee. I think he will.
He'll be there.
I think he'll be the nominee. They can't change horses right now.
He beat Trump once, and he'll do it again, especially if Trump's the nominee.
So, I mean, we're not going to go into the campaign stuff tonight, but just so everybody knows, especially our podcasters, that we're not really endorsing anybody here. But Jamie's for Ronnie D. I'm for Trump.
I'm endorsing whoever the Democrat's going to be, and it's probably going to be Ron or Trump. More than likely Donald Trump, which is fine.
Right.
I'm more than happy with Trump. I'm not.
The two front runners right now are Ron DeSantis and Trump, and that's who it's going to be as far as the runoff when it comes to the primary. And I guarantee you, whichever one wins, I'm going to back either one of them.
Yeah,
I just am.
And Trump's up by 30 to 40, and in third place is who's a South Carolina senator, Tim Scott. He's and then DeSantis is way ahead of him. So
kind of depends on the polls you look at. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's 7:25 here. We're gonna do our first commercial. Doug, we got you a new ad for Lauer Auto, but the audio's not good. Clay said he's going to get that fixed up, so you're going to have to hear like me talking into a tin can here. But we're going to get some good message.
Old school. Can on a string.
All right, here we go.
At Lauer Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
All right. And yeah, it sounded a little bit like you were in echo. You know, it almost sounded like one of them old style commercials that you'd hear on the radio. So maybe we just say we were going for retro. I don't know.
Yeah, we were trying to put everything in black and white on there then. Doug, you got any jalopies around there?
Oh my goodness. Anyway, we want to thank Doug and the guys down there at Lauer Auto. They do a great job. I know we've had some great Patriots going in there. So thank you for doing that. And
You
go
bet.
ahead. And Doug says it sounds like a weather warning. It kind of does, don't it? It sounds like one of those public service announcements.
At 7:27 p.m. North Dakota time, the National Weather Service has issued a wind warning. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just going to throw this out here. Lynette, she chimed in. She goes, whoever's nominated, the Democrats will pull the same crap on that person. You're right. No matter who it is, whoever wins that nomination in the primary, they're going to go on and try to crucify him. That's their game plan now. That's what they do. So, yeah.
For sure.
Brian Warner, he's got on here. He says, even got louder to gain attention.
Yeah. Not that I'm not loud enough.
Keith says it sounds like it was on an AM radio. So, see, we're good.
Hey, that's fine. Clay and I are on AM radio every Friday morning. 8:40 a.m. Central Time. Mitchell in the morning, KFYR 5:50 a.m. Of course, they are on FM too, on iHeart. So
they do have an FM, so I don't even know what the FM station
99.7.
Because it doesn't even reach here. Must have a very low, small.
Come on, Clay. 99.7. 99.7. Okay.
99.7. No. 99.7.
So Clay's got something going on. So we're if we feel like we're pushing this fast tonight a little bit, we are. We're gonna get right into our 2A bullet points here.
Well, I'm first going to add a little bit to the Biden thing.
Okay.
I had another report here.
Come on, man.
So basically, Joe Biden has, the president-elect that was housed in our White House now. He's planning after the Labor Day weekend to come out with a whole bunch of new gun control efforts. One of them is, get this, he's going to try to bring together, as he says, the anti-gun state lawmakers from around the country to have a roundtable meeting at the White House. Yes, so that's what we need. We need to have more anti-gunners come in. And basically, Kamala, heels high. She
Cacklebox.
Cacklebox. She went to Chicago last Friday, the way it sounded, and basically give the first step of Biden's plan, saying make gun safety a central issue in his reelection. So, guys, like I always say, the terminology is everything. First of all, when Democrats lose, they change the rules, which that T-shirt's coming, by the way. Anyway, but now they go there and they're not calling it gun violence. Gun violence, evidently, I've noticed this lately, gun violence evidently isn't resonating. It isn't working. So they're going to try a new one called gun safety and make it their central issue. This is not by chance that they select these words. That's the way this has always been done. And they just keep changing the terminology. She says gun safety translates to gun control. The effort will almost certainly be tied to getting more Democrats elected at all levels. So they think, and by admission, she said this, gun safety translates to gun control. Now, I don't know how they think that's going to resonate better.
Are we still paranoid right-wingers then, Clay, about our guns? Or
we must be. They're not coming for our guns. They keep saying, I'm not coming for your guns. No. But right there, and they think that's going to get more Democrats elected. Well, I mean, it may, if the Democrats, if it resonates with them and they got enough people, which in Illinois they probably do, but it's not a winning issue generally. This actually was acknowledged in a CNN report, which noted that Michael Bloomberg from Everytown for Gun Confiscation spent $55 million on gun safety supporting candidates. Really? Well, I got a question. Gun safety, if you really want to talk about it, there's nothing better than the Eddie Eagle program by NRA. There's also nothing better than what we just talked about on Jay's show on Monday, where NRA's hunter education part of the organization is focusing really hard on hunter ed courses online. 13 states. By the way, North and South Dakota are not part of that. So get on your game and fish departments, call their offices. That's where.
No, I was going to tell you, Vance actually commented that they do teach it in Standing Rock. That's what he said. He said that in the
online.
That's what he said.
That'd be something new. Waylon, maybe I see you're listening.
Waylon's still on here.
Then it just happened. And it could be. It really could be. Maybe it happened under that Native American Fish and Wildlife Service program that joined NRA's Hunter Ed. And I got more power to it. To me, the more kids we get. But that you want to talk real gun safety, NRA is the place. It's the place. It really is. But
yeah, they've been teaching it since 1949, right, Clay? That's what it was in New York.
1949 or 7. And ironically, New York. And they actually said, when you go back and look at what they said, They said they went to basically the authority on gun safety, National Rifle Association. They wouldn't do that anymore, but anyway, so you got Bloomberg. He's dropping $55 million on candidates that are anti-gun. I mean, that's
one guy. He outspends the NRA by himself, but the NRA spends all this money to get their agenda passed. Apparently,
he does it all the time. I mean, Bloomberg, and he's just the one guy. I mean, when you really think about what all these gun pro Second Amendment freedom loving organizations, NRA, Second Amendment Foundation, gun owners, all of them, the amount of money that they spend trying to protect your rights is minimal compared to what's out there and what they're standing up against. So that tells you that the majority of people are on the side of the Second Amendment.
Gun lobby is the people. I mean, the NRA will tell you that. We got lobbyists representing us, but they gun owners get fired up, and our voices are what changes a lot of stuff. So.
Absolutely. Essentially, what Biden's planning to do is, I've heard a couple different things. That's in this article, it's in a lot of different ones, but what they really want to do in their new push, they want to make it so.
What should be presidential? Yeah. What are they called? Executive
orders. And what they're going to try to do is really push ATF regulations. And they're using the bipartisan bill that was passed, guys, which unfortunately a lot of Republicans voted for it. That is
not North Dakota's though.
No, yeah, right. You know what? By next week, I'll put together a list of the Republicans that voted for that thing, and you can see exactly who the traitors were.
That's a good idea. I like that.
But the big thing in that particular law that was passed, it's got an excerpt in there. I think it's number 22, line item number 22 in it, that says anybody selling a gun, this is private people, need to now, if they make a profit, well, profit could be a penny. I mean, if they can prove it, then they got to go through an FFL or get their own licensing. That's what they're pushing for. They're going for it. They've said they're going for it. Kamala talked about it. Biden has said it. And they're going to try and start this after Labor Day weekend. I'm just piggybacking off of what Jamie was talking about. There's a whole bunch more, but I'm not going to go too far down into that right now.
Bullet point you got going here. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. But it's I'm just telling you right now. This is where they're going with it. They know they can't win in the arena of ideas. They know they can't win with the majority of the voters. So once again, the Democrats are losing. When they lose, they change the rules. And they're going to change the rules by executive order and weaponizing the alphabet agencies. And we're seeing it on all that. Throw the Trump stuff out and just look at what's going on. I got a bullet point that's going to talk a little bit more as far as to what's happening with the ATF. But I'm going to leave it right there for now.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I mean, a lot of people are probably saying, "Well, that's unconstitutional." Especially, you damn right it is, especially according to the Bruin ruling. But guess what? They can do it, and then by the time it gets to the Supreme Court, that takes a long time to work its way up there. In the meantime, they get this crap pulled, and they get a bunch of gun owners, people selling their guns. They get them in trouble here. So. Waylon
chimed in. It's Native American Fish Wildlife Society, and I was close. I couldn't remember. Waylon, if you're still there. Are they offering it online through you guys, or just is it a link that you guys are linking to? Because we talked about that with Jay, that they are offering it from the NAFWS, and that's exactly what they said they were doing. So let me know on that. But yeah, check it out. And if you guys want, you go to nrahe.org, and you can find all of this. And remember, a lot of states, most of them, I think, recognize other safety courses. I know North and South Dakota do. So maybe you can go and take your online stuff, and then I don't know if you have to find an actual instructor within the state to finish it, or if you can go anywhere and get it. I don't know.
Because like we said, Clay, the Game and Fish is always lamenting they don't have enough instructors. Well, the NRA's right there. They've been doing it since before North Dakota Game and Fish was, but yet they won't work in conjunction with the NRA. So,
and I can tell you, when I was a rep, I tried with both. South Dakota was a little more receptive to the idea, but of course, when I retired, it all went away. And I know that the rep after me didn't.
That's the NRA so radical, Clay.
He didn't even go try to pursue it anymore. But I know that North Dakota just flat out told me that they didn't want to work with the NRA. That was their exact response at that time.
That's
and they did the same thing with Green.
I don't want to say. Yeah. It pisses me off. All right, let's get a few comments here, Clay. Yeah. Jay Titan, best damn show on YouTube. Good guys. Thanks, Jay Titan. Appreciate you, buddy. Lynette got on there. Actually, Lynette, that's Clay needs to test the sound before the commercial. I was just the voice guy there. Okay, Brian, what Brian wanted, when the people in those focus groups going to die, or when are the people going to die or retire? Same damn terms all the time. Exactly, Brian.
Yeah, exactly.
You
were correct the first time. You're right. You're right, man. He was.
In there, but yeah.
Of course, Whalen, we chimed in there, and Whalen, he had the name for us. It's Native American Fish and Wildlife Society. Yep, and you're absolutely right. That's who they're working with, and they're doing a good job.
Yep.
Kevin, he's right. They will not be happy until they push us into a corner, and then you know what happens. You're right, Kevin. I know what's coming. What bothers me is, are we going to have enough people that are going to stand up and do what you and me will do, and Jamie and a few others? I will do it. And I'm not going to go into details as to what. We all know what it is. And if we get pushed that far, I'm going to do it. But, I hope we have enough to win. Eric, I believe the online course is nationwide one, so you can go to any state and do your field day. Okay. I haven't kept up with this because this just came back into the circulation things.
We should just go check it out and see.
We're going to do a follow-up on it. Definitely do a follow-up. And you know what we should do? Maybe we'll either do the follow-up and have it either on one of our segments on KFYR, so everybody gets the information that doesn't listen to this or doesn't listen to the other show, because KFYR, it has a big reach. It really does. So.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, guys, me and Clay have been talking. We're going to probably ask you guys in the not too distant future here. We're going to do a blitz bomb on K-Fire and see if Guns in the 701 boys can be on for a little more than 20. We're not talking about taking over anybody's show or nothing here, just like a segment a week. Because Todd said more than on a number of occasions on there, he wants us on for an hour. Yep. And Clay and I would be on board with that, but if nobody's saying nothing, so just hang in there. And
an hour would be fine. We can do an hour, and that's not even an hour when you do it on radio.
Yeah, we have no Clay nor I have any desire to do a daily show every day.
Not now.
No, I never do, actually. I never want to do that.
I know what goes into what we do, and that's enough.
Yeah, this is a shitload of work the way it is, it's enjoyable.
Don't get us wrong, guys. We love the support. We really do. I'm glad everybody's listening, on all three of the shows. But 1 hour would be okay once a week. I'd be good with that.
And that doesn't mean it doesn't mean the live stream's going away. So
no, live stream will be here. This is just a lot of fun.
Yeah, because if I'm on K-Fire, I can't say shit and get away. I can say it right here.
We got to be pretty reserved on there.
I enjoy.
I'll tell you what, we're 20 out from the top of the hour. Why don't we go ahead and pay a little tribute to our sponsors and do an obscene profit timeout?
All right,
and then we'll come back on the flip side.
All right, get your tin can out here. So it's all right. They're a double ad. Clay's got it revised. Let's hit it.
At Lauer Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Guns and the 701 is sponsored by the Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, the Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701-222-3932, or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com. All right. Welcome back, everybody. And we want to thank again Lauer Auto Repair down there at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, 701-258-6308. And Doug, you and I got to get together. We're going to launch a website for them, so then you'll be able to go right to their website and check stuff out. So welcome to the 21st century. Get them a website. And of course, to the Blind Guy of ND. Go to blindguynd.com and you can get a hold of Wyatt or Tammy. You can email them as well. And they do fantastic work. I mean, it's top quality stuff, guys. And I think Wyatt was going to be listening tonight, it sounded like. So I hope he is.
I said he was. He had a lot of work to do, but I can tell you, when he gets home and gets to working sometimes, if he doesn't, he'll get us on iHeart. So,
I mean, we only got 3 or 4 good months where we can work outside, and then we're usually snowed in. So
I said iHeart because that's what we're doing on K-Fire. Yep. You want to get our podcast, it's pretty much in any platform you get your podcast.
It's just about
we recommend iHeart.
I've even seen a couple other places pick it up that I didn't even know about. So that's great to see. So appreciate it.
So in a roundabout way, if you listen to it on iHeart, you're
Brian, I got to put that one up.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, you're right, Brian. He goes from AM to PBS. And when I did that recording, I mean, how long ago did we do that? And I was like, oh, it does. It sounds like I'm on freaking PBS.
PBS
So I need to redo that.
I don't know if PBS would have us on. Blind Wyatt texted me. He said he's here. All right. Thanks, brother.
but yeah, you're right. From AM to PBS, I sound like a PBS announcer.
Oh, that's funny. All right, Clay. I'm gonna hit my 2A bullet point
go
here.
For it. Oh, hey, quick before you do that.
Go for it.
I gotta throw this up here. We were out there when they did their sighting into their rifles. Check this out, and you put it up on our Facebook page.
There's Brad's bull right there. Him and Braxton are up in Alaska. That's a father-son hunt up there, and man, that's. I mean, I've seen some caribou, and I'm not a big caribou, but that looks like a pretty damn big caribou.
That looks like a pretty good one. I mean, I don't know a lot about them, but I have 8 caribou. It was really good. I can tell you right now, they did a heck of a job, and they were out there sighting their guns in, and I was a little worried because, you know, there was
300 PRC, but that's what Brad uses, Christensen Arms 300 PRC, and Braxton used Christensen Arms 7mm Rem Mag. So
I love the 7mm, nice round.
I mean, like I said, when we were out there, he had different ammo. He couldn't find whatever. I'm not sponsored. We're not sponsored. Winchester ballistic silver tips. I actually zeroed that rifle in when Brad bought it, and that thing would shoot dimes with that at 100 yards. And that Remington
just wasn't doing it that
day. Tip, I mean, not as good, but whatever. Hey, did the job, I guess. I don't know what range they did it from, but I mean, we'll maybe get some more details on it. And we'll keep you guys
I believe they both filled, right? They both.
Yeah. If you want to see both of their bulls, they're on our Facebook page for sure. You can
go check it out. Congratulations. They're listeners of the show, so congratulations to both of them. And come after hunting season. We'll try to do a little more of that when you guys.
Maybe we get them on and give us a segment on their trip up there. I'd love to know about it, man. They were up by the Bering Sea is where they were, right up there. So I don't know anything about that. Sounds cold to me, but
stay tuned because here, about September is what you're talking about doing. We're going to have a guest on here, and he likes to train some dogs and before bird hunting, and I think that'd be a great show. We're going to do a little bit. Everyone seemed like they like that, so we're going to do a few guests.
We're going to talk we're going to talk training bird dogs, collars for them, and some shotguns, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian Warner, it's the thickest caribou he's ever seen. Right?
Awesome, man. I'll pass that on, Brian. I'm good friends with Brad and his son, so I'd be happy to hear that. Appreciate the compliment there. So, okay, Clayton. I've never heard of these people before, but Southwick Associates identified the top brands purchased in the hunting and shooting equipment sales market based on more than 9,000 surveys of hunters, shooters. Surveys were fielded through the Southwick online, hunter survey, shooter survey, consumer panels, and the general public. So they interviewed 9,000 people about the top brands that people were buying here. And I'm going to give you a sample of some of these. I mean, it says sample, but there's quite a few here. But I'm not going to bore you too much with it. But I like this first one I'm going to ask you. Traditional rifles. What do you think the top 2 rifle selling companies were, Clay?
Now or then? Now?
This was last year, 2022.
I'd say Winchester and Remington.
No, you didn't get one of them, right? Savage and Ruger.
I thought about that. After I said that, I was like, I probably should have went with Savage at least.
Yeah. So handguns, they only got one listed here, but they are the top dog in my opinion. Who do you think the top handgun is?
Well, that's tough because it depends on if it's semi-auto or revolver.
Yeah, this is everything. It's throwing revolvers.
Everything. Top one. Ugh. I'm gonna say Ruger on that.
Nope, Smith & Wesson, which remember I had my bullet point about Smith & Wesson building that new factory?
That's right. That's
in
right.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
October 7th is when they're going to open the doors on that baby and start pumping wet firearms out of there. So, all right, Clayton, shotgun ammunition, Federal. These are the most frequently
That doesn't
purchased
surprise
brands.
me.
Yeah, I mean Federal makes good stuff, but
actually that's the one I would have picked. The only one I would have maybe thought about was Fiatchi just because they're cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know where they're going to go with that.
Yeah,
but
I did.
I buy a lot of Federal myself.
Yeah, I think it was Power Shock. I use it. Always weird. But reloading dies, RCBS. I do not have RCBS reloading dies, but I do got my powder measure stand right over here. I'm looking at it right now, and that thing's pretty sweet. I'd like that.
I've got RCBS dies. I've got Redding dies, and I've got a lot of Lyman, surprisingly.
Okay, so other than dies, Clay, this one kind of surprised me. Who do you think the top selling reloading components were? Because the dies were RCBS, but all the other components that go with reloading, what do you think the top?
Boy,
my buddy Bill was using their ammo to snipe prairie dogs there once he got her dialed in.
Well, it's either Dillon or Hornady.
Hornady, there you go, you bet. And so we got laser rangefinders. Sig Sauer was number one. I can tell you this. I have a Leupold rangefinder. It's freaking awesome. I love it. I told a couple of my buddies to buy Sigs and the Sig Sauer. And actually, Dougie's got the Sig Sauer binos.
Oh, okay.
I actually think the Sig's the best. Actually, I mean, man, my Leupold. I'm gonna stick with you, Leupold. But that Sig rangefinder, I think it's a kilo, whatever. A couple of my buddies have that. That thing is so awesome at long range, and it's so instantaneous with the range coming back. It's awesome.
I have to say, I am impressed though with that Athlon I got from Dave. Over that,
he's got good. Yeah, Dave's got good glass up there. Athlons they made better scopes than I thought when I was up at the shop.
Especially for the price range, I cannot complain. I've had a Leupold rangefinders. I've had a couple of them. I wore them out, believe it or not. But I can tell you right now, that Athlon, it's fantastic.
I mean, if you guys are looking for any scopes or like Clay said, spotty scopes or rangefinders, Dave's got that Athlon stuff up there because I actually was up at 1760 Sports. Dave, I ordered him I got a 6.5 Grendel and in a Ruger American. Dave got that in for me. Got a good deal. I mean, he's got a lot of sweet glass up there. He let me look through all of it, and next time I get some glass or a scope or something, I'm gonna go up there and get one because that's some good stuff.
And for the money, guys, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There really isn't. Like Dave said, I wouldn't sell it if I didn't like it. And I'm a glass.
And Dave's a state champion shooter, so.
And that's what he's shooting.
Yeah. And if it didn't work, he ain't gonna be state champ.
So I got to throw this up here. These guys are chiming in on the stuff. Eric said Lee. I got some Lee dies.
Yeah.
Just
most of my stuff's Lee, Eric.
My reloader is a Lee, and all of my pistol dies because they're carbide. Mm-hmm. And they were the best economical, and they had great reviews. So all of my pistol dies, every single one of them is a Lee, and I've had nothing but fantastic things.
I do have the Hornady lock and load machine, which works pretty good. The motor's kind of slow in it, and the other ones make it. So,
hey Gene, welcome. We were just bragging you up here a while ago.
Yeah, we were.
And then Jay Titan, the Federal. I'm sure that's in reference to the shotgun shells and
HST. Yep. Yeah.
I can tell you right now, I've had great luck with Federal. So it kind of goes along with that.
Yeah. Federal gold medal primers.
Eric says, he goes, I have a hard time going away from the Burris scopes. Burris.
Yeah. Hey, I got 3 of them. I'm with you, Eric.
Nothing wrong with the Burris.
Eric, you want to get you shooting a crossbow yet here, man? We're agreeing on a lot of stuff here. Except beer. I don't know. I get beer. All right, Clay, I'm going to go on. I got some more stuff going here. Scope accessories, scope and accessory mounts, Leupold, number 1. Game calls, Clayton, Primos. Gun cleaning, Hoppies. This was kind of an odd thing in here for me. I thought choke tubes, because I'm just not a big shotgunner, so I didn't know choke tubes are a huge thing. Who do you think makes the number 1 selling choke tube?
I don't know, because just about every shotgun I buy has
Carlson.
Okay.
Carlson.
I've never honestly bought a choke tube other than what the guns came with.
I did. I can't remember what it is, but I did. So and magazines, and I'm 100% on board with this one. Magpul for sure. Magpul in my
Magpul
opinion.
#1. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They got a lot of Magpul.
And trigger assemblies, Timney. Timney makes badass
gotta be
triggers.
Timney.
I think that Timney's not my favorite AR trigger, but in bolt action rifles for sure they are.
And there's other good companies out there for triggers, guys. There really is.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my bullet point, Clay. If I get to my second one, we do. If not, if you got to get rolling, we can hit it with Clay's Commie Company here.
I'm just gonna do one quick one. Another bullet point. I was gonna do one. It had to do with an ATF problem as far as with a Texas gun dealer, but I think I'll save that and maybe I can get a follow up because this was a pretty brief article about it. But basically, they're harassing another FFL dealer just like they did up there in Valley City. But I want to do this one because it's kind of an announcement. For one, it'll tie into a couple of different ones here. Gun Rights Policy Conference is the 38th annual. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. It's put on by the Second Amendment Foundation and the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms this year, September 24th 22nd through the 24th in Phoenix, Arizona. If you guys have never heard about this, it's a great conference. There is a ton of people there. This year, they're going to have 81 speakers over them 2 days, giving all kinds of legal, legislative, gun policy in general. This is where you go. If you're not coming to Guns and 701, then you can hit this second. Otherwise, you're going to get it all right here. But it's just a great thing. I'll tell you some of the people that are actually going to be there talking about. It's generally attended by 600 or more people generally. Alan Gottlieb, of course, he's the guy that's the chairman, I believe, of the Second Amendment Foundation, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Adam Kraut, Masada Abu, Mark Smith. Everyone know, if you don't know who Mark Smith is, basically it's American Armed Radio, if I remember right. Is he's on there?
No, it's not Mark Smith. It's Mark. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Mark Smith I know is out there too, and I've heard that name. I can tell you honestly.
Mark Walters is Armed American.
Walters,
Radio.
okay.
Great show.
AWR Hawkins, if you don't know who he is, he writes.
Awesome.
He's a great writer. John Funn, Tom Gresham. I bet you everybody's heard of Tom Gresham.
Gun Talk Radio every Sunday. Tom Gresham syndicated throughout the country.
Here's Mark Walters.
Yeah, Mark Walters.
That's who it is. I just had the wrong one. Here's Stephen Gutsky. Gutsko. I hope I did that right.
Nope, never heard of him.
And guys, they really do have these guys.
Gutowski, Stephen Gutowski.
There you go. Yeah. They're going to have representatives and staff. They haven't confirmed everybody yet, but from Second Amendment Foundation, of course, from the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms, NRA. So there's going to be people from NRA there, Gun Owners of America, and then the FPC. So it's just a good list, a good complete list of people that are coming to that. Friday, September 22nd starts at 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock as a reception. Saturday, September 23rd, it gets underway with the panel discussions and presentations. There's also an awards luncheon. That's from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, they wrap it up, but there's going to have more discussions and reports from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you want to get tickets, you go to the Second Amendment Foundation website, and that's where you register and do everything you need to do. Probably be a good thing to go to. I've thought about going in the past, and maybe that's something we look at, Jamie, here in the next year or two. Maybe me and you head down there.
I'm not about that SHOT Show yet, man. I want somebody. Man down Sporting Goods said he'd get us done. Maybe Dave can get us done or take us.
There's a few people can get us.
Dave, let's take that truck down there to get a load lined up for Nevada and Clay.
And I'm ready for it, man. I mean, it's in Vegas, so that's kind of fun. But that is the who's who of everything in the industry, and yeah, maybe Guns of the 701 has to go. There you go. We'll do a gun raffle. And the reason I wanted to do that, because I bet you nobody's heard of it. So I thought that'd be a good time to put it in there.
I've heard of it, but yeah.
I want to plug this as well. This is the gun show, Dakota Territory Gun Collectors Gun Show, taking place September 9th to the 10th down at the Sherhow Event Center down there, Main Street in Mobridge.
Yep.
You get a hold of Gene Cox at 605-848-2427. Again, 605-848-2427. And it's $10 to get in and a chance to win a Henry Lever action. I'm actually a life member of Dakota Territory Gun Collectors, so I do love the idea that they're having one in Mobridge. This is the first one in Mobridge, and Gene's taking the lead on that. So
awesome.
We'll go over there and attend it, guys.
Nice job, Gene.
And Gene, I'll have the banner after this weekend. And I'm just going to go ahead and either if I make it to Mobridge, I'll run it over to you, or I'll just mail it over to you from there.
We got to figure out how to get Gene on for like 30 minutes some point and have him talk
we can
about
do
it
that.
actually. So
Gene, if I'm guessing you're still listening, so if you ever want to come on here, get in touch with me or Jamie, and
if you got
let's have you on.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. I'd love to do that.
There you go. It gives us the thumbs up.
All right. There you go. Good deal, Gene. Love it. All right. Hey, here's what I'll tell you. What I got one more two-way bullet point, Clay. I'll make it quick because we don't got much to finish up here with. So we got, of course, everybody knows about this national dust up over the so-called ghost guns, right? We got, it's controversy, the ghost guns. This guy in Wyoming, I didn't even know they had this. Wyoming law professor George Moksari, he's the director of University of Wyoming's Firearm Research Center. I've been kind of seeing a lot. I'm like, all these universities got these firearms research things, and I'm like, I didn't even know they had this kind of crap. But according to him, it's more about emotion and a silly name than any real concern about a crime wave. So he says, ghost guns is a term for firearms that people build themselves, either from materials they already have or kits ordered online, and which don't have registered serial numbers on, which drives the frickin' leftists in frickin' sane. And I couldn't care less. There's actually a court ruling that said it's illegal to do that by the Bruin case. And I think it's working its way through other court things. And in my opinion, it is freaking against constitutional. But
absolutely.
So, yeah, he said the term ghost guns tends to elicit an emotional reaction rather than an intellectual one. The Supreme Court voted 5-4 to freeze the lower court orders preventing the federal government from regulating those firearms. He's talking about basically ghost guns here. Clay, do you know anybody who even owns a ghost gun that milled out their own lower or their Glock?
I do.
Framing it. You do? Okay, I don't know one. I don't know
one guy that he basically 3D printed it.
Okay.
He's got a lot more money than I got, so he's got all the cool toys.
So I mean, he's right on the money here. I got just a little bit more here, but I mean, it sounds like this guy. I mean, this professor is probably a lot smarter than me, and probably sounds like the guy's kind of on line with the Second Amendment. So, the Biden administration and others have made ghost guns out to be serious problem because they are supposedly fueling a wave of armed crime with untraceable weapons. Which, by the way, Clay. They don't have a problem tracing them with just the serial numbers on guns. It's not been a problem.
Hasn't been a problem, has it? At all?
No. Just like if they use the bullet, they recover the bullet and they can do it from the lens of the barrel. It's not. They don't need to do this. They just want it easier to get your ass down the line.
And it's none of their business. We've been making guns. People have been making guns with no serial numbers since the beginning of time. Yeah. And Gene Cox points this out. He goes, There's some cheap guns made before 68, and it was your reference in 1968. They got no serial numbers, and you're right, because we didn't need them.
And on top of that, bunch of these hoodlums file the serial numbers out of the damn firearm. So
yeah.
So this Moksari from go ahead.
All my guns are ghost guns. They remain hidden until they are called upon. That day may be coming soon, Mr. J.
It might, yeah. So of course this Moksari from University of Wyoming says that's simply not the case. They're not feeling this big crime wave. Criminals are not making their own firearms. The equipment to make your own firearm at home isn't just a small piece of equipment. The entire ghost gun regulation is just a lot of noise to get attention. The number of these firearms used in crime is minuscule, and I can promise you this guy went and looked through a bunch of numbers for this compared to the number of regular firearms used in crime. Serial numbers are stamped into all factory manufactured firearms, but historically haven't been required for firearms that people build themselves for their own personal use, which is true. It was not a big deal until the freaking Democrats got in there and started getting. Right. Remember the guy from California there? I can't remember his name, the state senator. It'll fire 10,000 rounds in 5 seconds or something. These guys don't know anything about them. So,
but I do. You know what? I'm going to ask about this. I'll ask someone. Maybe we can get an answer by next week. It seems to me that something happened out. Maybe David's the one that even told me about it. There's plenty of FFL dealers we can ask. Seems like now if someone brings in a gun with no serial number and say they do some gunsmithing on it, sounds like now the FFL dealer is required to put a serial number on it. But I don't know that for sure. It just seems like for some reason, and maybe Gene knows. Gene used to have an FFL, so let's find out about that because. You just hearing that article just brought that back into my memory.
Yeah. De Leon, I think, was this guy's name in California, his last name. But anyway, so here's the last part he's got here, and I'm going to add a little something here. You see if you can catch this, Clayton. In the big picture, there's not much of a. This is what this professor said again here. Sorry. In the big picture, there's not much of a market for homemade firearms or, quote, ghost guns, he said. They're mostly used by MVEs or serious hobbyists who have the time, knowledge, you caught that, and equipment to build or assemble their own firearms at home. For everybody else, it's more convenient to just buy a manufactured firearm.
Well, and it is. I mean, it takes a lot. Everyone thinks these 80%, and what we're talking about 80%ers, that's a lower, that basically a receiver of an AR that's 80%. You have to have some pretty good skills to mill that out.
Yeah, and there's people who say you can do it with hand files and shit. You got to be pretty handy to do that, or otherwise it's going to be a jam-o-matic in my opinion. Yeah. But yeah, I've built tons of ARs, and if you don't have a bunch of the right tools, it's a serious pain in your rear end. I can tell you that.
You better have the right tools to build any of that stuff. It really.
Yep, 100%.
Even if you're just ordering parts and putting them together, you better have the right tools.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If you get, buy an upper and a lower. In fact, I got the Trump one right here. No, you don't, JD. You like Ron DeSantis. Yeah, I do. I got a Trump one. I'm going to build that sucker, and it's going to be great. I'm going to wait till he wins if he's a nominee, and then I'm going to have me a fresh, new, sweet Trump AR-15. So.
Brian, he's giving a thumbs up.
Yeah, that's right, buddy.
MBEs, that's right.
I put that in there just for you and Clayton. I was laughing. I wrote that in there with my pen. I did that. So, Clay, should we hit Lauer Auto one more, and then we'll do Clay's. You're gonna do Clay's commie. I'm gonna do happy ending. And man, I'll tell you what, Clay, if we don't get too windy, we're gonna have you out of here early like you needed to.
I know that'll be okay tonight. Yeah. All right, guys.
Okay. Hey, wait a minute. All you people who don't like ghost guns.
Nasty person.
There you go. I love it.
All right, here we go. The last advertisement of the night from our great sponsor, Lauer Auto.
At Lauer Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
If they could just see what we're doing during the commercial break. Right?
So anyway, if you're listening, you got in late, or if you're just listening to the podcast, yes, that audio is going to get adjusted so it doesn't sound like I'm talking to a tin can. So
yeah, we'll get it worked out. One quick question before we go in here. Jay Titan goes, JD or Clay, have either of you been in a situation where you have had to pull your firearm out for your safety or came close? I'll go first. Yeah, 3 times I've done it. And it's a decision that you make very quickly. I'm glad it did. I'm glad it took care of the situation, because once you do that, you've committed. Okay. If you pull your firearm for personal defense, I hope that you have made the decision that you are going to shoot that person. Now, whether you shoot them to, put them down permanently, or whether you do it just to eliminate the threat, that there is a big difference. I'm not out to kill anybody. I don't want to kill anybody, but I will use lethal force if it's required. And that's something you won't know till you're in the situation. But yes, there was 3 times, and luckily I didn't have to, but I would have. I definitely would. I did not have to fire, and I'm glad.
I personally never have pulled it. There's been a couple times that I was on the verge of it, and I never did. But haven't had to yet. I mean, if I do, and to be honest with you, Clay, if I got to shoot somebody who I think's gonna, seriously injure me or my family or any of my friends, it wouldn't bother me, because if you're going that far that I have to think that I need to pull that out, and if I have to use it, then I'm not going to feel a whole lot of sorrow for you, because you brought that shit on yourself if it happens. So, and
that's why we worked so hard in the state of North Dakota on the Stand Your Ground bill, which it would change names, and Ben came out with a bill that we knew could pass.
Yeah, you get a little man.
Yeah, he's just a little man. You should have been in there on the testimony. Jamie was there with me, and so was a lot of people. Marty were, Bob. I mean, there
Mr.
was
Marty
tons of
Beard was
people.
there. Yeah, yeah.
But
I think
to listen to
Raheem was
some,
there doing it too, wasn't he?
oh yeah, we got a great picture
And
of all of us at the Capitol. Bob Wheeler.
Bob Wheeler was there, and there may have been one or two. But put it this way, we outnumbered the opposition on it.
Yes,
I think we got somebody on the online thing in opposition of it, and then that guy from the North Dakota Catholic Church. I mean, very annoying gentleman, very annoying guy.
He didn't like what I had to say to him afterwards.
No, he probably didn't like a lot of stuff that was being said in there. But whatever.
The testimony that those in opposition gave it was the same rhetoric, and the Catholic lobbyists there. And I don't care what religion you are. He was the Catholic lobbyist.
Yeah, he was. I don't care. Yeah.
And he spouted off all kinds of things about morality and things, and that we aren't the judge and we aren't the jury. And you know what? I can reference many things in the Bible as well that we did use lethal things that happened. So whatever.
Clay, before I forget, I just remembered something he said that me and Marty talked about this before, I think too. He said, like, if you were in a park, if you're in a park and you think there's a gang of people there and they're gonna beat you, and cause he goes, just like go over, walk in and step into the bathroom there in the park and hide from them. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be the best thing you could do. Go in the bathroom and like 5 guys walk in there and beat the living shit out of you. I'm like, dude,
you can't escape.
That guy's never so much as been slapped in his life.
No,
he has no clue about reality. That's the worst thing you could do.
No.
Hey, I'm going to hide in here. And then they're all going in there. Where are you going to go now, buddy?
I can tell you right now, if I was a Catholic and I would have heard that guy testify, first thing I'd have done when I went to any of the meetings that they hold is I want that guy gone. That guy is not on the side of freedom. He is not. He's a liberal Democrat, and you need to get rid of him.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was pretty. In my opinion, he seemed pretty arrogant, but whatever.
Very much. But like I said, I made him speechless when I had what I had to say to him afterwards.
All right, Clay.
Anyway, but yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Let's hit Clay's commie companies here. You want me to hit, or are you gonna hit it?
Yeah, go ahead and hit it.
All right, here we go. There we go.
Get a kick out of it myself.
People listen to like, my God, is he going to play the whole Russian national anthem?
No, we're going to get that down a little bit. So guys, I try to keep these kind of local if I can, especially when I know. And I was thinking about not doing it tonight because then Jamie and I are talking. I was, oh yeah, you know what's sad? There's so many, and it's so easy to do.
Yeah, it is.
And this one happens to be in Bismarck, North Dakota. It doesn't surprise me. A lot of different places like this in different towns have the same policy, and it's very frustrating, even though they don't know how to enforce it, obviously, because I've carried in this facility many, many times, just as bad as Buffalo Wild Wings right there.
You're an MVE. You're an MVE.
MVE. But this week's proud commie company of the week is the Kirkwood Mall.
You got the hammer and sickle on there. I love it.
For the podcast, I got the hammer and sickle there.
That's
afterward.
Perfect.
And being I know Target is also a commie company.
Oh, yeah.
I went ahead and added them, being they're in the Kirkwood Mall. And so I got to show you guys something. Basically, Kirkwood Mall, and just like Minot is the same way up there, they have, I want you guys all to see this. I'm going to bring it up here. Right there. Right. I don't know if you can see it, but carrying number 14, and this is in their welcome and their prohibited things. Carrying or displaying weapons of any kind, except those carried by the authorized law enforcement officers or security personnel in the performance of their duties and by security officials specifically permitted by shopping center management. So, that's what's in their rules. And a funny one I see here is fishing, swimming, or boating without prior written approval of the shopping center.
What the hell does that mean?
I'm trying to figure out where you're going to go fishing, swimming, or boating.
Yeah. Hey, man, where are you going pontoon today? I thought I'd drop the pontoon in at Target and have some fun. It's nice.
Yeah. I'm like, really? Anyway, so they get the award of Commie Company of the Week.
Yes, they do.
They don't allow to carry, especially if they know you're doing it. I suppose I have never really carried. I've never carried openly in there.
I mean, I've actually talked to the years ago, like I'm gonna say like 10 years ago. I talked to them. I called there now to talk to the manager, and this guy was. I guarantee you, this guy was a liberal. He was just shocked when I said that I don't want to carry. Why would you want to do that? So what am I supposed to do if I'm in there and somebody starts shooting? Yeah. Oh, it's not good. You know what he said, Clay? North Dakota, that ain't gonna happen here. Huh?
Oh, really?
Really? Well, tell that,
I guess he didn't hear about Fargo.
People in Fargo, I guess, huh?
Wow,
Fargo, that's not happening in Bismarck, though.
Really? I mean, I can tell you right now, it was a motel, and it was in Minot, and that's where, outside of that motel, where I had to pull mine. That was one of my 3 times that I had to pull it because I did feel that it was that much of a threat. And the guy that was approaching me, there's no way. I'm telling you, this guy was huge. I think he was on something, too. And I don't know what he planned to do, but he didn't have you know how you see that blank stare in someone's eyes? That he had a blank stare of death as far as I was concerned. I was having none of it, and I was wearing my Glock that night particularly. So don't tell me it can't happen in North Dakota. It's happening more and more often. But I don't understand these.
Because you liberalize your gun laws here, Clayton.
Yeah. I don't even understand the concept. It's foreign to me because
me either.
To me, it's the safest place in the world. If you have people like you and me who understand how to use a firearm, we do carry all the time, and I can actually fire accurately. I mean, everyone listening here, I mean, I guarantee you, Eric Newman and Keith O'Donnell and Dan, we know Dan Brown can shoot.
Yeah.
And you look at all these people here that shoot. Wouldn't that be an asset? That would have to be an asset.
And I don't carry mine because I'm looking for, hey man, I want to be a big hero and no, I'm not doing that. First and foremost is my family and myself. And if I got to do it, I mean, I'm confident I can use it out to a pretty good range, but, you know, and just carrying a gun doesn't guarantee your safety. No. But I'll tell you this much: if somebody has one, you don't. Odds. Yeah, you damn sure improve your odds because if they have one and you don't, then you're. Oh, what if they have an AR-15, JD? Well, Clay and I have many stories already. The most recent one, I believe, was Eli Dickin in Indiana in the mall. The guy had his AR-15. I don't know what he shot 2 or 3 people. Mr. Dick in there took this dude out at 40 yards with his carry pin.
Which, by the way, that mall, guess what policy they had?
Couldn't carry guns. No guns.
This is what I don't get. If you have that policy, what does the criminal who has every intent on killing as many people? And think about this. That was also a soft target because of the policy, but it wasn't as soft as the previous place they were planning to hit.
Just think now, Clay, if the guy in Eli Dickin would have followed the mall policy. Nobody's stopping the guy with AR that killed freaking 10, 15 people. And by God, he'd have done it if he had a shotgun too, if you think it's just the AR.
He picked it because of a soft target.
Yep.
And
so was his head compared to a 9mm bullet.
Sure was. Yes, it was. It looked like some of them watermelons.
His brain out just like his lung.
It's a lung blower.
Yeah.
So anyway, Kirkwood Mall and Minot one's the same way up there. And ironically, they both have, maybe Minot don't anymore. I think they do. Isn't that where the Shields All Sports stores?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Shields. I'm maybe not 100%, but I'm thinking it is.
It's where Minot's used to be located, and I know the one in Bismarck is located at the Kirkwood Mall. So you can't have it both ways.
I mean, I walked in there without even carrying a gun in my case, taking a bet. I mean, so I don't know what their policy is. Maybe Shields is just like, they got a policy. We don't give a shit about it. We're Shields. So,
well, I would hope they wouldn't have a policy. They should actually invite people to carry. They sell firearms.
Gun department there. I'm going to ask them just because I'm curious.
Now I'm curious too.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't go to the mall much anymore. If I do, it's only to go to Shields. There's just
me too. The regular mall. I mean, Christmas, my wife's like, let's go Christmas shopping. And I'm like, any place in here serve beer so I can get the hell in there and wait for you or what?
Is there even any place like that in the mall anymore?
Yeah, they got that. I think it's a Japanese place out. My aunt and uncle were actually back in, and we met my other aunt and uncle there from town here. It was actually pretty cool in there. It's kind of over by Target, actually. But yeah, they serve, I don't know.
Well, I got some news for the Kirkwood Mall people. I don't know how long you've had this policy. I really don't give a shit. Don't care. I've carried in there every time I've been in there, usually concealed. I didn't even know you had the policy. And I will continue to. I really don't care what you think. And it's not illegal for me to carry in there. The only thing you can do is if you saw me, you can ask me to leave.
Right.
That's all you can do. So, KMA, I don't really care. I'm going to carry, and I'm going to carry in these businesses. I really don't give a crap about your policy and never will.
I got a good one-off show here, Clay. A great one for your commie company next week. It's a good idea. Okay. All right.
Ooh.
Anyway, Clayton.
I got to put this up here. Eric just chimed in. He says, Shields tried to carry my ammo out once. He says, I declined and carried it. Really?
Really? Man, I've never done that to me.
So I've never had that happen there. I can
Must have been an FNG.
I haven't been in there a long time. I really haven't. Not because of any reason. There's other places I go.
Man, I like Shields. Usually in the morning if I swing in somewhere, it's running. So Shields isn't open, but I like people in runnings too. So
I do too. So J Titan, one quick thing is I have two situations that I probably would have pulled. Luckily, didn't have my firearm on me. One involved a reckless driver who charged at my truck's back door where my son was sitting in his car seat. Well,
I don't know what the laws are in Georgia, but if somebody tries that here, that's grounds as far as I'm concerned. If they're going towards your damn kid, for sure.
In North Dakota, it would be a gray area.
Right,
we haven't got that law perfect.
They tried to pass that here, actually, where like road rage seems because Florida passed it. And I think it actually got beat here last time. It was one of them in committee. I thought that didn't.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Just let him punch your window out. I mean, if it's your big guy and your wife gets her face beaten, at least you didn't shoot somebody. Yeah, great.
Now Texas has the perfect one, and we did an article. We did a segment on that. I mean, the guy got his vehicle stole. He tracked the guy down.
That was awesome.
The guy pulled a gun, and he assumed room temperature at that point, because in Texas you have the right to use lethal force if you're threatening yourself, your family, or your property. And property means your vehicle, means anything. And Texas don't mess around. And of course, there were no charges filed on that. Now, I will tell everybody this. In North Dakota, if you pull on someone and you shoot them, you got a really good, strong chance now with the changes in the law that you will not see anything happen to you. But I have no doubt they will charge you. They are going to charge you with manslaughter at the very least. I have no doubt, depending on the county you're in. I'd say if you're going to do it in Stark County. They got an awesome sheriff over there, and he's not going to call that homicide or manslaughter. But some of these other counties, I just expect it, just so you guys know, expect it. But still, it's better to be alive than dead.
So before I go into my happy ending, I'll say this, Clay. I've never pulled a gun on anybody, and I have had one pulled on me twice, and I can tell you this. It was twice by private citizens and once by it was actually the Game and Fish Department deputies. I stopped in my tracks. That was the end of what I was doing that they didn't like. And I mean, one time it was probably deserved for sure.
Yeah. And
one of my buddies was with me. I mean, he'll verify it, but
being on the other end, it took care of the situation, didn't
it? It'll make your ass pucker for sure. I can tell you that.
Right. And that's the three
times
I did it.
Shotguns and the deputies. I don't remember. I think we were 11th grade or 12th. We tried to outrun them, and when we stopped, the Game and Fish pulled their guns. They were revolvers or semi-automatics, one of the two. But they took our beer and left, and they let us go. I can tell you that.
I can tell you though, the 3 times I did do it, it took care of it. It diffused it. It was done. The same reaction as you probably had. It got real right there.
Yeah,
it was a real situation.
Before the shotguns were pulled, we thought we were pretty tough son of bitches, and when you see the barrel looks like it's about as big around as it can when it's aiming in your direction. So
yeah.
Anyway, I'm glad I didn't get shot, and I did a lot of asshole things when I was a kid. So younger guy, so it's probably deserved. Anyway,
Eric said it was pistol rounds, and it was a young gal behind the counter. Yeah, probably didn't know what she was doing.
My dad said pistols are bad.
All right, Clay,
here we go. Yeah, baby. It's a happy ending anthem right there. And speaking of pulling guns on people, here we go with the happy ending, Clayton. Okay. This one going to take us to, people in Kentucky might get mad. I think it's Louisville. They say Louisville. I think it looks to me like it says Louisville, just like Oregon's Oregon, not Oregon. But anyway, according to a news release from Indiana State Police, which borders Kentucky. The Washington County Sheriff's Department said the incident started around 6:30 p.m. Monday in the 7700 block of Oregon play, or your liver or something, Springs Road in Salem, when officers responded to a 911 call. Police said officers found 45-year-old Michael Chastain in the front yard with a gunshot wound. He was taken to St. Vincent Hospital in Salem, where he was pronounced dead. Investigators said Chastain drove through the yard, grabbed the homeowner. This is going to get good right here, Clay. Forced him to the ground and pointed a gun at his head. And this is what I like right here. I'm not sure my wife could pull this off. My youngest probably could, but the homeowner's wife saw it happen, pulled her own handgun and shot Chastain in the head from distance. Headshot him, man.
Headshot.
Investigators with the Indiana State Police told WDRB TV News that Chastain is well known in the area. Oh, Clay, you're not going to guess this. And he has a criminal background. He dated the homeowner's daughter, which in my mind's telling me he went over there and tried to get tough with his dad, and the dad stood up, so he put a gun in his head. But she no longer lives at the home, so police aren't sure why he targeted her father. We do, but guess what, Clayton? It doesn't matter now because Mr. Chastain got out on the right end of the happy ending story this week on Guns in the 701.
And his assumed room temperature. And you know what? World's better off without a guy like that.
Yeah. And if somebody ever, my daughter's ex-boyfriend ever puts a gun to my head, I hope somebody here in the house can take a headshot on him.
I know one thing. You mentioned your youngest. I guarantee you my youngest would do it.
Man,
you've seen how he can shoot.
Yeah, especially if you got that PMR in his hand. Man, forgot about shooting out of Doug's. That thing's freaking money. I like that.
We went out and shot it here again over the weekend. And you know what? He hasn't shot it for a little bit. Doesn't matter. He's still right on. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's
14 years old and quick reflexes. And he just.
You retain them skills a lot easier when you're younger once you learn them.
Yeah, he does. I got to put in a couple of things here. Jay, just like you said, Clay, I do not want to hurt anyone, period. But if I pull, it means the other party are really effed up. And that's right. If I've pulled my firearm on you, you got to sit back and ask yourself, what did you do? Because I don't take that lightly. And I know when I was actually doing a few things and doing some seminars, I said, if you pull, I'm guarantee you better have already decided you're going to use it. Because if you pull it with no intent to really use it, then you could get yourself into trouble. You need to be willing to do it. And it's tough to make that decision.
You still want to bow up when you got a gun in your face and and you get shot. If somebody pulls one on me, I don't care if I'm in the right or the wrong. I'm not going to.
Well, and
unless I think I'm going to die either way, then I'm going to do something. But
the idea is to eliminate the threat, and what force is needed. Each situation is going to be different. Yeah. I mean, maybe you shoot him in the leg, and that takes care of it. Maybe
I'm not ever doing that. That's going to be a miss.
Maybe you need 2 to the chest, and that takes care of it. Or as this gal did, walk over one to the head. Yeah, no more issues.
If I got to shoot somebody, it's because I think they're Anyway,
exactly. Yeah.
All right, Clayton, let's get a little PR going here. We're going to be out here at 8:30. We got 5 minutes. Let's do it. You got to have dinner with the family and relatives. So
I am. Yep, I'm heading in. I'm going to do one quick thing here, guys. Right here it is. This is the AR-10. It's a Noreen. It's chambered in a 30-06. Been Cerakoted with black Cerakote. Got stainless steel and plates. They've been engraved by A&A Engraving. $20 a ticket. We're over half sold out. Tickets are $20 each. And you guys
got some. Come get me.
Jamie's got some. I still got a few. Our Farm Bureau members have some. We will have them at the fair this weekend, Friday and Saturday.
You can have that gun there, Clay, to show them.
I'm going to have that gun there.
Piece that is.
Absolutely. It'll be there. You can come take a look at it. We're going to have some Guns in 701 gear, some hats, some shirts. I'll tell you what, just stop by our booth. It'll be right there by Daryl's Racing. Yep, koozies. Daryl's Racing's pigs are going to be there. And we're going to have, I think 3 performances on Saturday and 2, on Friday and 3 on Saturday. So somewhere in there. So, yeah, stop in. If you're in Carson, North Dakota, guys, it's a great fair. Saturday is the big day. They got the parade. They got an awesome, I'll tell you what, they got probably one of the best car shows for a little town that I've ever seen. It's really impressive. And my youngest is going with me, so that'd be kind of fun.
Awesome, man. Love it.
So, yeah, that's my quick, and then don't forget the gun show in Mobridge, South Dakota, coming up September 9th and 10th, right downtown there at their little civic center, and talk to Gene Cox. He'll get you set up, and $10 to get in. That's pretty cheap.
Don't forget to look behind Gene and comment on that nice banner he's going to have hanging there too.
Beautiful banner there. Going to be a big, beautiful, fantastic. Just going to be the best.
Listen,
banner.
It's the best banner in the upper Midwest. I've seen it. Clayton Peterson, I talked to him at the rally. Yeah. So anyways, all right, like I said earlier, every Friday, 7:40 a.m. Mountain, 8:40 a.m. Central. Clayton and I are on Mitchell in the morning, KFYR 5:50 a.m. You can also listen to that on iHeartRadio. And Clay simulcast that baby on Facebook and YouTube. And if you miss that, you can catch a replay of it on iHeart. I think Clayton, this Jesse Rossmet's going to be on there again this week, so it's just probably going to be just me and Clay getting windy for about 12, 15 minutes.
I don't
and
think
then every Monday, Clay, which you're not going to be there, I heard this Monday. Why don't you tell everybody about that?
In the crosshairs, I'll be out rounding up yearlings with the Kling Ranch. It's something I look forward to every year to go and do. I don't want to miss it. He's got 2,000 head. It's usually around 15, 16. 2,000 head we're bringing in and be shipping them babies in the Lemon for Wednesday sale. So
awesome.
It's just a lot of fun. I mean,
you're probably with Clay. What are you doing? You doing horseback or do you use a motorcycle? Yeah, four-wheeler. Okay.
We probably should have had. I went out. Let's see, what is today? Wednesday. We went out Monday morning and helped him with a few. I'll tell you, I probably should have had a horse down in that country. That was some rough stuff, like my grandpa's place or Tomac's place when you and I went down.
Yeah, back there at
Tomac. Rough stuff.
Yeah, that looks like horse country to me.
But we pulled about, I don't know, there's probably 100 and some head we pulled out of that school land and brought them home, got them up. They're ready to roll. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. So, yep. Every Monday, like Clay said, hey. In
the crosshairs.
Yep. 11:30 a.m. Mountain, 12:30 p.m. Central. Jay and I, Jay, I'm gonna. If you listen to this, I'm gonna have 5 topics since we're gonna have me and Clay and you go. And I tell you what, I'm gonna do. One of the topics for sure, I'm gonna do, Clay. If I'm people regular listeners of the show here, I'm gonna do the number 1 selling guns in each category by Gun Broker. That's gonna be one of the topics that Jay and I are gonna go over.
Awesome.
So by the time I'm done, Jay's gonna probably want to buy 3 of them.
There you go. And I'm gonna show you a couple of quick pictures that Marty sent me here. I don't know. They must be out coon hunting, possibly. I'm guessing. There's one with the family. Look at there. Got the little grandson. Got I believe that's his daughter, isn't it?
Yep, that's the age.
His daughter. Yeah. And the hounds. And then of course Marty loves that little kid. I know he does. So.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good kid right there. He's raising him right there.
Oh yeah. And of course, I have to leave you guys with one more image here. If you really want to piss off liberals, just remind them that Gabby Giffords, who's a gun control crazy, she used an AR-15 shooting targets at children with a gun. And for those of you on the podcast, go take a look.
Looks like Justin Bieber.
Well, I went a little history. The guy was under 18 years of age. Gang member. That's what this photo was. I don't think she knew it. It ended up on a Target poster that was being circulated. I mean, this is several. I mean, you're talking 20 years ago, the way it looked like. But yeah, I don't know how this photo got out. You can't even get one of them targets anymore from what I understand.
She went to a gun range to try and prove her Second Amendment bona fides there before she was.
Could be, but the way it sounded, she actually used to enjoy shooting those.
Yeah, so, I wonder if she actually doesn't even have her finger on the trigger. I think she's actually got it wrapped around the grip and.
Yep.
Yeah, now an absolute Second Amendment prohibitionist, Clay, and I said it on Jay's show. She said, take the guns, and they tried to correct her. And she said, no, I mean take all the guns.
And she definitely had more than a 10-round magazine in that, and a forward grip. Check that out.
That's a 30-round banana clip right there.
Oh, yeah, that's like horrible. So I'm going to leave that up here a little bit again. So if anyone wants to take a picture of it and share it to your liberal friends and remind them that, the Gabby Giffords was shooting an AR-15.
Yeah. Oh, Red Dot sight. I mean, that's for a weapon. You got a light on there.
Weapon of war.
What?
Weapon of war.
Weapon of war. Weapon of war.
Gene Cox, she probably still does like shooting, just not the rest of us. That's the way the elitists are, isn't it?
Yeah. She's probably got her own gun range. Her and her husband Mark, is sending her in Arizona now too. So they, millions. He's probably got his own private gun range and 12 AR-15s.
Just doesn't tell anybody.
No.
All right, with that, guys, like I said, we're doing pretty good. 7:30, 8:30 Central. So I want to thank everybody for listening tonight. We kind of ran through a lot of things really fast. Again, go check the website out. All brand new design. I really like how it turned out.
And you can buy
Freedom Hose
stuff on it
USA.
now, Clayton.
And we have our store. Just go to the tab. Says it's got the Guns and 701 tab
Get
right
that
there.
card out. Get that credit card out.
Everybody wanted a store. I mean, I don't know how many times I got messages and people say it. So it's up there. If you want some gear, go get it ordered, and it's really easy to do now. We're working with pro freedom sites, and I sent a little email off to Square. I'm not going to share it with nobody. Jamie saw
That's
it.
pretty good. Yeah.
I think I made my point.
Yeah, trust me, everybody listening would love it because I was laughing reading it. Clay didn't hold back on them, and he gave them exactly what they deserved.
Exactly what they needed, didn't I?
Yeah,
So,
there was a few choice words in there.
oh, I hit the wrong thing here. Anyway, with that, guys, I want to thank everybody tonight for listening, and join us again Friday morning, 7:40 a.m. on the mountain side and 8:40 on the central side. KFYR 5:50 a.m. radio with Mitchell in the morning. And of course, Monday we have In the Crosshairs with JD and Clay, but Clay will be gone Monday.
KFYRplus.com.
KFYRplus.com. And again, like I said, check out our website, gunsonthe701.com. Until then, guys, keep your powder dry. And remember, only you can prevent forest fires. See you guys later.
Thanks for tuning in.